No Nonsense Know-How here. Tonight I want to give a quick rundown and overview on how to put a fuel pump in this 2000 Isuzu Rodeo. It's got 150,000 miles on it. It's about 15 degrees out, working out in the driveway tonight. So I'm going to give you guys a rundown and try to keep this real quick. There's another detailed video on YouTube if you want to check that one out. So do so if you need to do that. Anyway, so to begin, you're going to have to get this vehicle up a little bit. You might be able to do it on the ground, but you want to get some clearance. So chock the front wheels, both of them. Jack the vehicle up as you please, but chock both the front wheels with rubber chocks. I jacked it up on the pumpkin here, and then I put jack stands under the axle in the back, and then I leave this jack here as well. I actually own 3 jacks, so it's no big deal. If you don't own 3 jacks, that's going to be kind of troublesome, but do what works for you guys. I'm not going to teach you how to jack a vehicle up. Anyway, then come back here. I took the hoses off instead of taking them on the off on the tank, take them off up here. So this big one, you got these spring clamps on each of them, and this little guy right here as well. Sometimes these can be tricky to get off. Stick a screwdriver in here a little bit. Do not puncture this hose though, because that's going to be hard to find if you do. Then spray some lube in there, get some channel locks, wiggle the hose like this. Should be able to get it off. It's so darn cold tonight, it was kind of a pain to get off. But anyway, then you're going to have 3 14mm head bolts and 1 14mm head nut. Hopefully they're not too rusted on your vehicle. Spray those first. So you're gonna have one right here in the back corner, one right here, and then one right here and here on the front. Next, get your 2 jacks under there, of course. I'm sorry, before lowering this, it's a good idea to put some plywood. And by the way, before you do any of this, disconnect your battery, negative terminal. And also, make sure you have like a quarter tank or less of fuel, because if this thing's full of fuel, you're gonna be spilling fuel, and it's gonna be, a lot heavier, obviously. Sometimes that's not an option, though. Anyway, on these 2 fuel hoses here, the lower one is your high pressure fuel hose. Kind of a bear to get off, and they don't give you, oh, by the way, it's also a great idea. I have one on the way, but do the fuel filter at the same time, guys. Great idea to do that while you're down here and you have these lines off. Anyway, I actually tore this lower one getting it off because it was such a bear, and I had some pliers on it wiggling it, and it tore right through because it was old. So don't be like me and do that. For me, when I'm reckless and break a hose like that, tear it, I could just jump up into my hose collection. That's freaking crazy. I get hoses there, hoses everywhere. I keep a lot of hoses. But got some fuel injection hose here. Takes 5/16. You got to make sure that it's pressure rated hose though. Before you pop this lower pressure side hose off, either make sure to depressurize the system under the hood, or put safety glasses on and have a towel around it like this when you're pulling it off, because it is under pressure and it's going to shoot fuel and it's going to drain fuel out of it. So definitely have a drain pin and a towel ready. The upper one, you actually probably could cut it if you want, because they give you enough clearance. But anyway, the way to get these off is remove the spring clamps, and then get some pliers on there, wiggle it, and then you just pop this off of there. I'm not going to pop it off right now because I got to get a towel under there. Anyway, at that point, we're ready to lower it down and get to our electrical connections. All right, now props to Isuzu for putting long leads on these electrical lines. I was actually able to, unhook this from here, but I was able to lower this all the way down without putting any tension on there. So now you're going to come back here and, relieve your electrical connections. Okay, so this one, don't break these clips, guys. Actually, we're probably not even going to be reusing these connectors. We'll see. And this other one, just pull back on that a little bit. Make sure to check for corrosion on these, and when you put these back together, definitely put dielectric grease on them. But I love that they put a nice long lead on there. Anyway, now we are ready to slide our tank out of here. All right, so it looks like a factory pump in here. Guys, make sure to clean this up really good before removing this. Get a scrub brush in there, some simple green, whatever you got to do. Scrub all that dirt, salt, and crap out of there before taking this ring off. All right, once you got this all cleaned up, come in here, remove these hoses, put something on the end here, because that's going to spill some fuel out of there when you break the vacuum seal here or whatever. Squeeze these 2 tabs here in, and then slide the hose back just like that. And, well, you might want to pop it out of these first. Mine went ahead and popped out when I did that, but anyway, same thing on this one. And we could see fuel, well, I just saw some fuel trickle out of there. Now, go ahead and take some rust penetrant before taking this circlip off. This is a circlip that holds this thing on, which is not your normal design, but spray some rust penetrant around this to assist with that. Now go ahead and get yourself some retaining ring pliers like these, and get in there, squeeze that ring, and relieve it from its location like so, taking care not to damage it. Boom. Now we're ready to pop this pump out. Good idea, maybe do once over clean before, after you get that ring off, clean a little bit of the rust off again. Wouldn't be a terrible idea. But anyway, now we're ready to pop this thing out of here. At least I am. And here's a look at the fuel pump module assembly we're going to be putting in. The reason I'm actually replacing it is just because of the sending unit that's notorious for going bad in these. But you know what? If you're going to drop the tank, you might as well put a new pump in if you're at 150,000 miles. You can see we come with a new O-ring as well. I do not recommend going on eBay and getting one of those $25 pumps. I've seen issues with those tons of times. This is a Delphi pump. I'll put a link in the description if you guys want to purchase one of these. I've had pretty good luck with them. But definitely get a name brand pump for sure, guys. Now we can actually see, I don't know if you can see those little tabs on there, on this sending unit, on the top contacts there. Those tabs are actually broken off. So looking at the new one, we can see the tabs are in good shape on there. So that's what goes wrong with these pumps. But again, if you take it out, put a whole new module in there. Also, good idea to come inside your tank, inspect for rust or major debris, and you know, wouldn't be a bad idea to flush out the whole tank. I actually definitely suggest doing that. But if you want to be ghetto about it, if you do see some small debris and stuff like that, at least get yourself like a vacuum suction hose and suck out, you know, that big debris without emptying the whole tank out. But you know, if you want to be smart about it, clean your tank out, guys. And comparing the new pump, we can see a few design changes. This has 3 pillars, this only has 2. And the new one has doesn't have the sock type filter on the bottom. I guess that's internal on the new one. Anyway, but unfortunately also the connectors are different for the fuel pump. The fuel pressure sensor, tank pressure sensor is the same connector, but this is not going to fit on, you know, these connectors are different. So you are going to have to solder or butt connect this onto the harness. Now I'm not going to show you how to use butt connectors or solder. I do recommend soldering them. If you need to know how to do that, definitely look up a YouTube video. There's a lot of good ones. But here's a diagram of what your connectors are going to be looking like, you know, because the wires don't match. So anyway, so you can pause that and check in case that's one of your vehicles on there. The colors, you know, don't match up on there. So coming back to the tank, make sure to clean around here really good, and don't get any of this debris in the tank, guys. When you clean this, I actually used a vacuum hose, air operated vacuum hose, when I was cleaning this off, just around my napkin, so I didn't drop any dirt or anything like that in the tank. You're also going to have to transfer over these clips. So to get these off, be real careful, but you know, get a screwdriver behind this part right here. Obviously clean all this dirt off too, but behind here, pry out gently, and then you get it like that, so you can slide these off like so and slip them on to the new pump. Clean those off though before you slide them on. And if you didn't notice it before, this is the locating notch that goes in this groove right here when you're pushing this pump down. Push that down, hold it down, put some grease on that new clip, and clip it into position. And my battery died when I was finishing up there. So anyway, I'm sure you guys can get the rest put back together. Make sure to, you know, get that O-ring in there and put a little lubricant on that when you're putting that down. Otherwise, bolt that thing back up, push it up, hook everything up, and you're good to go. So just, you know, make sure you get a decent pump, guys. And yeah, please give a video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. I definitely appreciate that. And yeah, a shot of your butt there, Turbo. Anyway, thumbs up, guys. No nonsense, no how. Thanks a lot, and you enjoy yourself, y'all.